So Resident Evil the show is canceled. Are you sad? Is it
Yes, it
heartbreaking?
is.
Ever had it?
I am not sad at all.
You're not sad at all.
That's it was bad. Like it was bad. I didn't care about anybody in the show. Every time I started to care, they would switch to like the past or the future. Like it would be like, oh, I'm
They
caring
did a
about this
lot of
person's
that.
story in the past
Yeah.
and to the future, or I'm caring about this person's story in the future and to the past. And it was just like I don't care. I think I told you there was like a spoiler within the first episode.
Yeah.
So you know the big deal with like, oh, Billy's alive, even though it was very obvious she was gonna be alive in the future, like because it was just generic storytelling. Um, so when they did the whole reveal where she took off the helmet and it was Billy,
Mm-hmm.
um, in the first episode, what was the other girl's name? What's the black girl's name? The main
Jade.
character,
Jade.
Jade. So it said when it showed her as an adult, it said Jade in the subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it showed her as a kid, she was labeled Young Jade. And then when Billy was talking, it said Young Billy, which tells you that means there needs to be an older Billy. Like right away, uh, the
Yeah.
spoiler, like the first episode subtitles, like spoiled that, but it wasn't even that good of a reveal. I liked the giant alligator, but then that was kind of boring, like ruined. But I did like it
I feel
while it
like
was
they
there.
ruined that because they went ahead and had everybody die to this girl's drones when the alligator could
Yep.
have just ate a few of them. Like the alligator was just, it was just there. It was just like they were
Yeah.
moving this thing along and they introduced him late on. They really made this like they messed it up as time kept going. It was just like every episode because I binge watched the second half like all right then and there, or from episode 4 to 8, and it was just
Yep.
like it was just bad, and I didn't understand like
Yeah.
why were you like they bust out with Blade basically or the Neo
Yeah.
version of Wesker, and
Neo
right
West so bad.
it was just like, and then the rest of it were almost like Ninja Turtles in a way. They were all like they were doing something and just they had different personalities. And it was just, even though he's a very good actor, it was just like he was used very poorly in the second half of this series. And it was just
Yes.
like it dumbed him down. Like it went from like, okay, he has to go from playing the serious one to the silly one, the psycho killer one, and then Neo. It just the Blade one was so memeable though. Like you saw him everywhere on social media, but it was just all he had to do was just stand there for a second. It just looked goofy, and then he kind of just left. It was like, was he a cliffhanger for next season or something? Because he was just
Oh no,
like, I'm sweet, and then I'm just out of here. Like, and I'll kill some of my other ones or whatever, whatever. So
I thought he
like
died. I thought they showed like they were trying to say when he went into that room in the like past that he died there.
the Neo one, I thought the Neo one got
Yeah.
away. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
The other one got
Well,
shot
never.
right
That's a
away.
great
Like
view.
he shot the other one. I'm like, that's your brother or your clone or whatever. Like y'all supposed to be. It's y'all
Yep.
against the world. He just shot that one. He was goofy looking. He was just. When they brought him in there, I couldn't take him serious, even though he was like a play on a different version. It was just like I could not take him serious. It was just. It looked so goofy when he walked in there. But it was so
Yeah.
unnecessary. It didn't really add to the plot. You could have just said he was a
No.
clone and said that the real one died in the volcano, because I noticed that they mentioned that to make it canon with the game, which
Yeah,
cringed
that's
me
what
a
it was.
little bit.
That's what they were trying to say was the Neo one died in a volcano.
Yeah, but the Blade one was
And they're-
Neo too. He did the same stuff. The Blade one was
Well, no,
Neo.
that's the thing. I thought that's what they were saying that the Blade one died in the volcano.
Yeah, the original, they have a clone of the Blade one here that we just
Oh,
saw.
I misunderstood that. I thought the
Yeah,
Blade one was the original,
yeah.
and then the rest were all copies. Okay.
No, he I don't know. Maybe that didn't seem like that looked like it was real time. That didn't look like a flashback of a flashback, but maybe I'm wrong. maybe that was that. It just looked weird. Maybe that's what they were doing. I get it. It don't matter now. It got canceled. We ain't gonna see it again. We never should have saw it to begin with. They should have just. They had a story. This is the thing that annoys me about whenever something is remade. You have a story handed to you. Like it's handed to you. You don't got to do anything. But then you like mess it up, or you try to mess it up with like the movie that came out. The movie that had came out actually had the characters in there, but they made them into parodies, especially Leon. And it's just like, all you had to do was just take it serious and be serious. It was like, what are we doing? They had the tyrant with the arm and everything. Like he was barely even used. He was just like, all he did was bust his arm out from the ground or whatever. You never really saw him. He just that was it. Yeah, it was just dumb. It was like, well, because it was the tyrant based off of the very first like game 0 or game 1. I think it was probably game 1 or both of them. Like they had those type of tyrants back then, but it was just, they didn't need to do any of that. None of it made sense. It was like the girl shooting her sister at the end of the day because I could just take your daughter. Like that didn't make that much sense either. The girl getting back up even though you got shot point blank in the stomach. I was just like, come on. Like it was just like stop.
Also, like she brought the zombie onto the boat without telling anybody, thinking it would be a good idea, and they got surprised, people got mad, and everything went wrong. Second, her daughter, she was just like, the daughter just casually is on the island. People are getting shot by a drone, and there's a giant zombie alligator on the island, and there's all this chaos, and she just was able to get a speedboat, go to the island, just like like she's just walking. So like, well,
I remember thinking about that too. Like she just kind of got over there. She got over there too easily. Is what I remember thinking. And
she went full Dora the Explorer. It was just like, I'm on this island now.
Her existing didn't need to matter either. They tried to make it deep. If you notice, there was like, my man said, I'm not the biological father and stuff. And it was just like little plot holes and stuff that didn't need, like it didn't even need to happen. She didn't need to have a daughter randomly. Like halfway on, they did not like do the characters right at all. They messed their characters up. Like it was just bad. It was just bad.
They try to do the like, you have a kid thing to be like, you can't just be reckless out there. Like, no, you have something to live for, is what they're trying to do. But it was just like, it didn't come off well at all. Like the whole series. Also, the part where like he gave them a scavenger hunt to like in the house to find all the secret stuff, where it's like, play this note on the piano, and then like you could dig under this key, and then it's like, move the piano and it's in this vent, and then it takes you to this part of the house, and there's all these little riddles and clues. Wasn't that supposed to be an emergency, oh my god, everything's going to hell, like quickly get out of here sort of thing? Because like I thought he put that up as an emergency, as like only they would understand it. But then you gave them a series of like 8 riddles, and it's like, when would they have had time in an emergency to do 8 riddles to lead them to a basement to know, oh, I need the dog? Like it was what?
It was dumb.
What's happening here?
It was
like I
dumb.
looked, I was like, okay, when you give them one riddle and then they play the piano and boom, they get the money and they can get out of there. Why was there more riddles? That's what I didn't understand.
The show.
It was just it was.
It really needed to go. It was so far from the source material, it didn't make no sense. Stuff was confusing. I think there's even stuff you and me are confused on live right now. So it doesn't. It just needed to go. It just needs to go.
We'll also never have the reveal. Remember, they were running away, and it said, who's your like dad's contact? And when they looked at the little sheet, and it said Ada Wong, we don't get to see Ada Wong now.
Yeah.
Aren't you sad?
I guess it's just they were just gonna pick a random. I'm not gonna say it. So we can move on. We can just move on from it. It's gone. It's gone. RIP movie adaptations and TV adaptations on this. Just get the games. I am still getting the third person DLC for Resident Evil Village. That's when I'm going to play it because I didn't play it yet. I am going to get that. I have no interest in anything Resident Evil outside of the games at this point.